Hello everyone, Vanguard of Valor here, and welcome back to another episode of Dwarf Fortress. Now in the last episode we got a whole pile of new friends to join us, so let's take a look at our list here. The 27 new dwarves have joined our ranks. We've got Brian, Caleb, Calvin, Dave Cola, David, Equalist 101, Gimli, Graylin, Gooey, I don't know how to pronounce your name, that's what I'm going to say for it, Kegarot, Lampman, Lee, Liam, Lovebat, Max Power, Mr. Sparacco, Parkaface, Quetzalcoatl, Raichu, Doggy, Robert Ware, Rude, Samuel Petrick, Sebastian, Shinobi Quinn, Squatting Hobo, Toaster, and Ukos. If anybody has not been added yet, don't give up. Don't worry, you don't need to post your name again. I still have everybody who's already posted in the list. As I did previously, I just selected a random list for this group. Now we have a whole bunch of interesting things in here. We've got people who are doing metal crafting, people doing weaponsmithing and armor crafting, blacksmithing, all kinds of useful things, gem setting and cutting. What other interesting things we have here? We have people who are siege operators and pump operators. We have a variety of trappers and hunters. We have some woodworkers, we've got some miners, a whole bunch of interesting little skills here. The most interesting skills, though, are in the military side. We have a lot of military skills in this list. A lot of dodging, which is good, a lot of armor and shield use, which is good, a lot of marksmanship, which is excellent, and a variety of different hammer and axe and sword use skills, which is great. We can also look at the social skill, and it looks like Lovebat was the winner of most skills this time, because Lovebat has a billion social skills. Lovebat has marksman as well as mace dwarf and a variety of dodging and defensive skills. And if you look over on the laborer side, Lovebat has a billion skills over here as well, including gem cutting, fishing, beekeeping, spinning and cooking. Basically, Lovebat is good at everything. But that's alright. Everyone here is going to have good use because today we're building our military. So that's our big job. So in order to build your military, the first thing you're going to want to do is find dwarves who are good at it. You can get dwarves without any military skills and add them into your military, but they'll be unhappy because it's like drafting. If you have them with already military skills, they don't get quite as unhappy when you make them join your army. So what we've done here is I've gone through and I've devised a list of a variety of dwarves who will be put into squads to make up our military. We're going to be making 4 squads, which is quite a lot actually, but we have a whole ton of extra dwarves, so we might as well start building up our military. Now, just a forewarning here. The military is a part of this game I have always had a bit of difficulty with. I've never really been good at managing my military, so we're going to see how well it goes here, but just be warned that the things that I'm doing may not be exactly how it should be done. Regardless, we've gone through the list and we found people from each discipline here. We're making some axe dwarves, some swords dwarves, and some marks dwarves who are going to be joining our team. So of course we're going to be having Logan over here be our main axe dwarf. He's our military commander because he is level 5 already, whereas everyone else is only level 2 or 3, I believe. Yes, level 3. So it's going to be Logan and J.K.V.O., Brian, Gimli, and Sebastian, which is very straightforward. It's all the people with any axe skill. And as far as our swords dwarves go, we're going to be using mostly the people who are in this list, although there's a couple we've decided not to use. We're going to be using Parkaface, Kegarot, Kelvin O'Free, Caleb, and Rez for this, because those guys have the good skills, but aren't quite as useful in their non-military jobs. So we can basically afford to have them be away for most of the time. And for our marks dwarves, we have a huge list of people we could choose from this. So we're going to be using Rude, Quetzalcoatl, Max, Lovebat, Liam, Gooey, David, Blaz, Sivart, Trib, and Rourke, because they are more or less the most skilled at it. I think that's actually all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, one of them didn't get chosen. I'm not sure who it was. Glimlin didn't get chosen because he was useful in his other job and we didn't want to lose him. What is he? Ah, yes, he's our mechanic. We can't lose our mechanic. You only have one. So those are the people we're going to be turning into our military. Big list. Don't worry about remembering them all. I've gotten them all written down here so we can use them. But once you've gotten them all listed, then we need to get down to business. So, how is this going to work? Well, right now we can get it started, but we're not going to be able to build everything that we need because it's going to take a lot more resources than we currently have. We don't have armor, weapons, bows enough for all of these people, but we're going to get the bases set up, get the squads and the organization set up so that once we can supply them with gear, they'll be actually able to use it all. So, first things first, we'll go M to get into our military screen. We might not actually see much of the game really play this time because there's a whole lot of stuff we're going to have to do here. So, we've gone into our military screen. We have our militia commander. We don't have anybody else. Do we actually have we given a person a militia commander job yet? No, we haven't. Alright, well, let's give Logan the position of militia Militia Commander. There we go. Logan, you are now the Militia Commander. There we go. Excellent. You are going to stay with that position for now. We'll come back to our military screen. That was from the Nobles menu, which you get to on N. Now we need to make a squad around our Militia Commander. This basically, the Militia screen here has everything we need to build our army. We won't be able to quite do everything with it yet because we don't really have our barracks set up yet, but this will give us the menu options we need to actually put things in place. So, to start off, we need to build our squads. So, we have our Militia Commander. We're going to hit C while selecting them. These are blue because they're selected. If there were more, you'd be able to see. We hit C on them, and we get to choose the uniform that we're giving them. Now, this isn't quite as important at the moment because we'll probably be giving them custom uniforms later on once we have more gear and more armor and things made. But for now, we'll just choose to give them all leather armor. Not that it really matters. And they automatically name themselves when we create them. So Logan decided to name his squad the Gilded Adulation, which is actually not a bad name, I have to say. So, now we need to put some people in this squad. We're making our squads all 5 people large, so that they have enough people to have some training going on and some lessons going on without having too many people and not having enough room for anyone. Although we are going to have a whole ton of people, so we're going to have to expand our barracks, I have a feeling. Regardless, we have Logan. We're going to add all the rest of our dwarves who've decided who are going to be in our Axe Dwarf squad. And I think we're going... Actually, I should have made a... Yeah, we'll probably make a custom uniform for them that's called Axe Dwarf, Swords Dwarf, and Marks Dwarf. Because we want to make sure they have the right weapons and whatnot, and you can set that in the uniforms. But we're going to come through here and assign our Axe Dwarves. So next we're looking for Jake Cavo, or Brian, Gimli, or Sebastian. Where are they in this list? We have to scroll down. There we go, there's Jake Cavo. And we look for more people. This is a little bit on the slow side because you do have to just look through the list and try and find the dwarves you're looking for, and they're not always in the order you might expect, although they should have relevant skills here when we find them. So we're looking for Axe Dwarves. You can see in the top left corner there, it tells you what they're good at as far as military skills go. So we should be able to just see them listed there when we come across them, or we could just, look at the list and find them that way. So we're going to go find Brian down here. He's our competent Axe Dwarf. Welcome aboard, Brian. We still need Gimli. So where's Gimli? Excuse me. Gimli, welcome to the team. There's our 5 Axe Dwarves. Excellent. So, that looks pretty good. We could rename the squad, rename them Axe Dwarves, but I like having them as the Gilded Adulation, because it's a pretty hilarious name. Yeah. So let's make some more squads. We need to make sure... How do I make new squads? That's the question. Whoops. I guess we could put someone in this squad and then make a new one with them. Oh, I remember how to do it now, yes. Right. We need to give new positions to all the people who are going to be making new squads. So we'll leave this squad like this for now. We'll come and do things in chunks. So we'll do all of the creating of squads now, and we'll do the next step after that. So we'll come back out here, come back to our Nobles menu, and now we see that there are Militia Captain jobs. Militia Captain jobs are created once you have a Militia Commander, and these are the people who are going to lead their separate squads. So, for the next squad, it doesn't really matter who's going to be leading it because it's going to be our Swords Dwarf squad, and everybody in our Swords Dwarf squad has the same level of skill. They're all at level 3, I believe. So we're going to make it be... How about Rez, I think? You survived being drowned, just barely, Rez, so you get to be the captain of the Swords Dwarf squad. As far as our Marks Dwarves go, we're going to need 2 squads of them, so we're going to need 2 Militia Captains. So we're going to go into this thing again. You can keep making as many Militia Captains as you want, so that won't be a problem. We'll come in here again and make sure we find... Who are we looking for this time? Looking for Blaz, for one thing, because he is definitely our best marksman so far, because he has been doing some shooting on his own time, what with being a hunter already. And we'll find one more, and I think this time we'll make... Lovebat be our captain, because Lovebat has a billion skills, so they might be a little bit better at teaching people and whatnot than otherwise. Let's see if we can't find them. Also, there's some people here who don't have nicknames for some reason, but I'm sure they do in the rest of the game. Is that one of them Lovebat? That's strange. Let's see if one of them has a relevant skill and we find it. No. That's bizarre. It's very bizarre, because everyone here has nicknames. I don't know why 2 people in the list wouldn't. I think that one might be Lovebat, though. If we take a look here, Lovebat is the one with a billion points in beekeeping. Yeah. Moskuskuggen. Mosuskuggen. Yeah, that's your last name. Is that you? No, that's Nishtatis. Where's Mosuskuggen? That's... Where's Lovebat gone? It's a little bit tedious trying to find people on the list here, but we do want to find the right people for the job, otherwise we're going to find it a little bit harder later on. I still don't see them, though, which is kind of weird. Is this them? Nishtatis. Who is Nishtatis? Why aren't you in this list, Nishtatis? Beekeeping. Who is Tatis in their name? Nobody does. That's weird. Let's read the dwarves again. Did someone lose their name? I don't think so. That's a little weird. Very weird, in fact. Okay, let's not do that. Let's replace this person. Instead of Lovebat, we'll make it be, how about Quetzalcoatl for now, because you have a cool name. And I'm probably pronouncing it terribly, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. So, there it is, Quetzalcoatl. You can be our second captain for now, and Lovebat's probably going to replace Quetzalcoatl because of all the billion skills they've got, but for now it'll do. Because we can't find Lovebat. Okay, so there we go. We have our 3 militia captains set up and our militia commander, meaning we'll be able to set up all the squads we want. So we're going to come back here into the military menu, and now we have 3 more people we can create squads around. Excellent. So we'll create our second squad here of axe dwarves. So again, we'll set their uniform to be leather armor to begin with. They're the Big Palisades. Nice name there, Rez. Okay, now we're looking for some teammates for Rez. They're going to be Pargaface, Kegarot, Calvin O'Free, and Caleb. So we'll find them in the list. I know this is a little bit dry, but this is how it works. So I want to show you exactly how it works. And since we're setting up a bunch of squads, it'll be useful for the alert stage and for later steps in this thing, but it's a little bit tedious for right now, I know. Now we also want in our Swords Dwarf squad, Pargaface, Rez, and Caleb. We need Kegarot and Calvin O'Free. Kegarot, there you are, and Calvin O'Free. Where are you? We've got to get the whole squad in there. There we go. 5 people in the squad. Excellent. We'll get down to the next squad and create them. They are, in leather armor, the Tin Virgins. That's an interesting name there, Blaz. I guess your madness is still taking over there. Alright, so these guys are a squad of Marks Dwarves. They're a little bit different. They're going to have a bunch of different things later on in the process, but for now it's the same. We're just looking for people who have the skills to go with them. So this is going to be Gui, David, Sivart, Trib, and Ruark, I think. So there's Ruark. Put them in, and Sivart Trib is right there as well. And we have Gui who needs to come in this squad, I believe. Yes. Can I find you, Gui? There you are. And who else are we looking for? We're also looking for David. Where's David? There he is. Perfect. So these guys are all 5 Marks Dwarves, I believe. And they wouldn't show up on their skills list here, I don't think. No relevant skills. That's bizarre. I know they're all good marksmen, though, so we're not going to worry about this too much, because we're going to be making them marksmen. And Militia Captain will create our 4th squad. There we go. Leather armor. These are the Courageous Syrups. Okay, Quetzalcoatl. That's quite the name. Nicely done there, chum. I'm not entirely sure what you were going for, but we'll take it. So, Quetzalcoatl's team is going to be having Rude, Max Power, Lovebat, and Liam in it. So let's see if we can't find them in here now. Okay. There's Liam. Okay, where's everyone? There's Max Power, there's Rude at the end of the list as well, and now we're just looking for Lovebat, who might have still vanished off the face of the earth. That's weird. I'm not sure what happened with that. We might have to add Lovebat in later. Not that that's a big problem, we'll just have to make sure we actually do it. Okay, so that's that. Now, we have our squads built. Now we need to have them actually doing things, because as it stands, these squads are not going to do anything. Next step is to go to the alerts menu. Here we are. On the alerts menu, there's a variety of different options, as always. We have active, inactive training. We can't do a whole lot with this at the moment. This is actually the wrong menu. What I meant to say was hit S to go to the schedule menu. This is the one we wanted. So, this gives us the squad lists for all of our guys. We can hit plus to scroll it over and see the Courageous Syrups, and minus to go back and see the Gilded Adulation. Can we actually scroll through? Yes, you can. You can scroll in both directions. Now, what we have to do in here is make it so that they actually have a schedule that makes them not go insane. As it stands, their orders are to train 24/7, all of them, all of the time, constantly, all of the time. And that's just not reasonable. So what we have to do is we have to change it a little bit so that we can have people who are working, people who are resting, and that they're not working all of the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to set it up so that it's built in 2-week training and what do you call them? Rest weeks, or months rather. So we're going to do a variety of different things here. This might be a little bit clumsy. We can see I'll just explain what we're seeing on the screen first. The sign on the left here is the list of the months in the year, from granite, slate, felsite, whatever, and whatever, which means that we are currently in January, February, March, which is convenient because this is March. What do you know? Anywho, you can rename them too if you feel like it, these ones, but we're not going to worry about it too much. What we are going to do is we're going to make sure that things are the right way. So we're going to say, let's leave those two guys on the first month. We'll hit O to give them a new order. We don't want them to be defending burrows. We don't want them to be patrolling route. We want them to be doing rest. Why can't I do that? That's not right. Cancel order. That's what it is. We cancel the order every 2 months. There we go. And that way they can rest while they're not actively on duty. And we'll swap the alternate team so that we have one close combat squad and one archery squad available for every 2-month period. There we go. Now we go over to the Courageous Syrups and alternate them. Because that way we'll always have 10 dwarves who are actively ready to fight in the military. And that way we'll also have whatever we need if anything happens to go wrong. Now I believe we need to do a variety of other things here. This is gonna suck. Yes, okay, so what we have to do here, we're gonna be copying and pasting orders. Right now, see here in the bottom left-hand corner here, it says train 10 minimum. This is not good. What this means is 10 dwarves out of our 5 dwarf squad have to be always doing these things. So we should be able to edit the numbers in edit order, I believe. There we go, here it is, down here in the bottom left. Plus or minus, we can change the 10 soldier minimum. We're going to be changing that down to 3 soldier minimum. Since our squads only have 5 people in them, with a 3 soldier minimum, it means 3 people have to be working at all time, but that gives 2 people at a time the time to go eat or rest or what have you. So that means it'll give them ample time to switch around. So we're going to save that as being finished. Shift is completed. And we are going to copy these orders. There we go. And we are going to paste them into every other training position. Because otherwise they will all keep saying 10 minimum, and that's not going to work with our squads. We may always have to edit these things later on if things decide that they're just not going to work for us anyway, but at the very least we want to make sure we change these things, otherwise we're going to be in a lot of trouble. So, that's that. We have our squads now set to have the 3 minimum while they're training, and 2 weeks off in between. During those no scheduled order periods, they'll be able to go and do whatever they feel like, more or less. We can rename those cells if we feel like it. We can rename the training cells as well. So example, we could go in here, we could rename it with N and rename it to, let's say, active duty. There we go, because that will make them ready to actually go and fight as well. And I believe if we copy that again and paste it onto another training, we'll also copy the name. So we'll quickly fix those in as well. I should have done that first, of course. But this is how the military thing goes. It's a lot of dealing with menus because, well, there's a lot of menu stuff that needs to be done. Otherwise, it won't work like it should. We can also change the no scheduled order period, I believe. I'm not sure if you can rename that. We can try. Yes, we can. So we'll call that, instead of active duty, we'll call that rest period. Rest period? Sure, we'll call that rest period. We'll copy that as well, and we'll paste that into the no scheduled ordered times. No, that's really not convenient. We can't see it very easily because it meshes in too closely with the spelling of active duty. So we'll leave it as it is, no scheduled order. There we go. So, I believe that's all that we have to do for here for now. And now if we go back to the main menu here, and they're still marked as all active. I'm not sure we did this correctly. I think what happens here is, yes, by setting these guys all to active, it puts them into the schedule, I believe. I may have to check these things after just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure hitting enter on the active training section here puts them into the system. Means that those squads are actively doing this list, meaning they'll get their active duty, then their rest period, their active duty, their rest period. We want them to change sleep. Oh, that's another thing we need to change. There's so many little things, it's easy to forget them. We're going to come in here and change something else to make sure it works a little bit more smoothly. We're going to change from sleep in room at will to sleep in barracks at will. Possibly at need, but I think at will is fine for now. So we'll have to paste that into everything now. And what that does is we'll need to make sure we put beds in the barracks, but once we do, they'll be able to sleep there rather than going all the way to their bedrooms, and that will help them get a little bit more done while they're actually active. So we'll set that to all of them. There we go. And right now they're set to being uniformed while off of active duty, and we'll just leave that on Yeah, uniformed. But read that as uninformed. No, it's uniformed. We'll leave that on for now, not that it really matters. So, that's all well and good. Now we can come back out of here, and I believe we've done everything we need to with our scheduling for now. Oy. Now the next thing we're going to have to do is equip these guys, because they don't have any gear on them yet. So if we come in here and tell them to equip, they'll see that they have these things. A variety of leather gear to wear for armor, which we can't supply them with because we don't have any real armor yet, and an individual choice for melee. But these guys are all axe dwarves for our first squad. The Gilded Adulation is our axe dwarf team, so we can't have them be using individual choice melee. We need to have them be using an axe. So I accidentally canceled that instead of telling them to do it. But what I meant to do was to hit capital W, and that will allow me to choose the weapon I want to give them. We can see in the menu here, when you hit this, while in the menu, it gives you the choice of what you want them to be using. So let's just say we'll be using battle axes. So you'll have battle axe, and we'll make sure everybody in this squad removes individual choice melee and adds battle axe. Because otherwise, oops, long thing, there's a whole bunch of other weapons like foreign things and stuff, but that's not what we want them to be using. So we'll be coming through here and clearing out all of these things. We may also be coming back in here later and swapping them out for training axes in the meantime, because we don't really want them to be using their battle axes while they're playing with each other. By playing, I mean the dueling and whatnot to train. But we don't want them to be using individual choice either, because they might just pick up whatever they can find, which might not be what we want them to have. Oh, no, Warhammer, War Axe. Battle Axe, that's what I wanted. There we go. Battle Axe, there we go. So now that's set up. We'll have to come back in here and actually give them a uniform later on, but for now, this'll do. And we see there's there's so many things here, oh my goodness. This menu is a mess, which is why we're spending mostly, like an entire episode, if not more, going over it. You can see here there's material, there's color, there's the different variety of things, priority assignments. It's a mess. But these main things here are to decide what you want to give them. Material lets them choose from like metal or, you know, wood and whatnot. Color, if there's something of a specific color, like if you want them to all have blue armor, they'll take armor made out of blue metal. And if you say over clothing, rather than replace clothing, this means that they put their armor on over whatever they're normally wearing, so in this case they'd have their leather gear on top of their like shirt or what have you. Exact matches means they can't deviate from the list. Partial matches means they have to take most of what they see in the list. We'll leave it on exact matches for now, even though we know they can't complete it, just because we will fix it up later. Okay, so that's a mess. Now we can come back over here and do it again for these guys! Huzzah! But we know what to do, we just swap them in, and this time we're giving them swords. So let's give them short swords, I suppose? We can give them longer swords, but we don't have any. So we're just going, they're foreign weapons. So we're going to just be setting this to being short swords, if I can get the menus to cooperate. There we go, turn that one off, set that back to short swords, and give everybody the armor, or rather the weapons, that we want them to be using. Once we have this all set up, it should work fairly smoothly, but until you get it set up the way you want it, it's really just a bit of chaos. The military is one of the hardest things to organize, which is why I haven't done it very well up until this point in time. Now we need to give them crossbows for these guys, because these are our ranged crew. So we're going to be giving all of these guys, instead of individual choice melee, we need to be giving them crossbows. We will not have enough crossbows for them, just like we won't have enough swords or anything for anyone else, but this is the way to get it organized. And once we have them, they will hopefully get some and then be able to fight with them. There we go, crossbows. There's a whole bunch of things that need to be done for these guys because of the fact that they're using bows. They need a little bit more setup than your normal team because they can't just use your traditional barracks. But we will hopefully get it all sorted out sooner rather than later, and it should be fairly good. So there we go, crossbows. The only first one we still need to find is Love Bat. I don't know what happened to them, but we can work that out later. Now, uniforms here, we can set up what's actually in a uniform. So if we wanted to, we could come in here and make our marksman uniform. We could make our other uniform, but there's no point because we don't have the stuff yet. So once we actually get some gear made, we'll start making our uniforms. So we'll probably do that at some point later down the line. Supplies is nice. By having this set up, you can have them carry drink and food with them. This means that they won't have to constantly go get more if they're in the middle of doing something. Now, in order to have this work as well as it could, we can change the amount of things they can carry. You can have them carry water or any drink. We'll have these guys all carry water because if they get injured, they're only going to be able to drink water. The alcohol won't make them, they won't be quite as happy as if they were carrying alcohol, but they'll be able to go get it anyway, so it won't be too much of a problem. Now, we can also use, I think it's, yeah, we can use, what, left bracket? I don't know. No, not left bracket. Slash? I don't know. This thing. I don't know what the key's called anymore. Or an asterisk, I suppose. That would have been easy as well. we go, to change this one. But I think carrying 2 food on them is fine. That's a decent amount. And that should keep them more or less supplied as we go. Ammunition is highly important for our archers here, the Tin Virgins and the Courageous Syrups, because they're going to need archery gear, otherwise they're not going to be able to fight. And the way this works is, this is bolts supplied to all of that squad. So if it's 100 bolts for our 5 people, they'd be carrying 20 bolts each. So we'll come in here to the Tin Virgins and give them 100 bolts. There we go. Using combat, using training. Yes, we're going to be giving them specific rules for what they can do with that later on, but for now that'll do. So we'll leave that as yes. I thought I wanted that. Oh, I'm in the wrong menu. There we go. And we do it again here to the Courageous Syrups. There we go. 100 bolts. Excellent. So now they actually have ammo assigned to them. They won't be able to carry it until we get quivers. They won't be able to have it until we make the bolts. But this is how you set it up. Oy. Okay. Okay. We're almost through here, I think. Almost through here. We're almost through the menus. I believe we've done pretty much everything we have to do, actually. These guys have... yeah, they're set up the way they need to be set up. That looks good. We can see here in the top right, they're set to active training, no scheduled order, or active duty. That's good. That's what we want to be having, because that way we know that it's actually working properly. We have the number of people. They have the right number of positions in the alert menu. They're equipped as well as they can be for now. We can set specifically what they want later when we actually have gear. The uniforms we haven't bothered to make yet because we don't have any. We can check their supplies, which you've already set up, their ammunition, which we've set up, and the schedule, which is completed. Now, the one problem with this is that we currently have it to be set as sleep in barracks at will. We don't have a barracks right now. So we might need to change that temporarily, otherwise our dwarves are going to get very unhappy with us, because we have A, no beds in our barracks, and B, no barracks, really. We have a room that's going to be our barracks, but there's nothing in it yet. So that's not going to work out so well. So what we're going to do is, we're now going to come into the real game, da-da-da, at long last, back where we started, back at the menu. What do you know? We have to turn this room into a seriously large barracks. So, we have a lot of jobs that need doing. We're going to set a couple things to start being built, otherwise we're going to be at a huge loss here to make any kind of progress. Our carpenter's workshops, you're going to be making us beds on repeat, because we need those set. So A, B, R to do that. Coming in here to our carpenter's workshop again, and now we need to start making some other gear. We want to make some training equipment if we can, but that's not the most important thing at the moment. The most important thing at the moment is, do we have access to weapon racks and armor racks? I believe we can make those here. Yes, out of wood. I kind of want to make them out of stone, though, so we're going to do that instead. As it stands, I think we will make some training swords and axes. So we'll make 5 training axes and 5 training swords. Of course, I said that in the opposite order that I actually designed them to be built, but you get the idea. This will give our people something to actually train with once we tell them to. As it stands, they're not going to, but they will eventually. And we're going to come in here and sell our mason to stop building rock doors, and you are going to make us a rock armor stand. You are going to make us a rock weapon rack, which is with W. We are going to be making a couple of those, just so we can have more than one. I like having a couple in each barracks, because it looks nice. And we'll make, I guess we'll make 4 of each, so that's 4 of each. And is there anything else we need at the moment from the stone? No. So after that's done, I will set them back to making doors again. Keep going, because we still need more doors in this fortress. Always need more doors. Okay, so that will give us some of the gear we need to actually build our place into a barracks. We're also going to need some tables and chairs, so we can set that in our other carpentry workshop. Oh no, they're already making... oh, that's right. Beds are a higher priority. Okay, well we can leave that for now. We'll make some tables and chairs later. And what else do we need to be making right now? We need to be going up to our leather crafting workshop, if we have actually made it. No, it's not built yet. Well, hopefully someone will come and build our leather crafting shop soon, and we can get that started, because otherwise we're not going to be able to make anything to hold our bolts. Our crafts dwarf workshop, though, is where we're going to be making our bolts. So we'll come here, start making our ammunition, otherwise we're not going to be able to shoot anyone with anything. Do we actually have a... no, it's written in this menus, right. So we're going to come in here to the wood menu. We're going to be making wooden bolts for now because they're fairly cheap. And we're going to set that on repeat. Make lots and lots of wooden bolts. We're going to go through a lot of wood soon. We have a bowyer's workshop? Yes, we do. So we need to make some crossbows. We're making some wooden crossbows. It doesn't really matter the material we're making them out of. It basically just affects how hard they hit people with them. So we're going to make a bunch. We'll make, as many as that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we'll make 10. I know we have more than 10, but this way we make sure we have the right number. We're going to use up all of our wood doing this. Oh boy. Leatherworks is not finished yet, so we can't do that quite yet. But I believe we're looking pretty solid here. This will give us most of what we need. We're going to go to our metalsmith's forge once we actually have metals, because we're going to want to make things out of iron and whatnot and make things, but we don't have any metals is the real problem yet. So we're going to need to start digging as well. So we'll come down a little bit lower here. I think we'll be able to designate an area out there. Also, we really need more beds because we have 27 more people and not enough beds for them all. Oh, so many things that need to be done simultaneously and so little time to do it. We need to start looking for more metals, is one thing for sure, but I think we'll leave that off a little bit because that's a lot of things to be doing in one episode. What I do want to do is let the game run for a little bit and see what happens with our missing love bat. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. So people are now getting their new jobs. They're becoming swords dwarfs and marks dwarfs and militia captains. We'll get a whole ton of notifications about that as they accept their new jobs. I have a feeling that people are still running around collecting goods and whatnot. We'll designate more cheese. Yes, more cheese to be chopped down. Death to cheese. Designate more trees to be chopped down, because otherwise we're not going to have the wood for the jobs I've just told them to do. So that whole area is going to be chopped down soon, hopefully. That should do it. People are running around doing all manner of things here, which is nice. Okay, so let's go back into our military menu quickly now that the game has ticked a couple more times and see if we can find Lovebat, because I'm a little bit confused as to where they might have gone. Catantan. Why do some people here not have their nicknames? That's what I want to know. What happened to them? Like, if I look at this person here... No, that's not what I wanted to do. Not what I wanted to do at all. If we look at our unit list, we can find them hopefully here. Is Lovebat somewhere in this menu? Are they doing something that's making them unavailable? Here's our beekeeper, who is apparently fishing. Let's view them. And their skills? Can we get to their skill list from here? No. This is a very interesting menu. You can see a whole bunch of interesting things about your dwarves by looking at this kind of thing. You go to the unit list, you pick the unit, and you hit See Thoughts and Preferences. For example, this person has been content lately. We can see what made them happy or unhappy. They were caught in the rain, which they didn't like. We can see the god they believe in. We can see the things they're part of. He's a former member of the Key of Hall. His person has been in a ton of different societies. Wow. I've never seen any with that many blue text things. He's 105 years old, born on the 4th of Galena, so he's quite an old dwarf. He's weak, his sideburns are clean shaven, his very long mustache is arranged in double braids, his very long beard is neatly combed, and his very long hair is tied in a ponytail. We find that he's quite durable and agile, but is weak and susceptible to disease, which is not very good. Things he likes, we can find they like anhydrite, pewter, and diamond coral rope reed fiber fabric. The color indigo, pigs for their sense of smell, really, and boogeymen for their terror-inspiring antics. When possible, he prefers to consume giant tick dwarven rum and whipvine flour. He absolutely detests cave spiders, and he's a good feel for social relationships and a good memory and good creativity, but has a little difficulty with words, and iffy sense for music, little willpower, a very bad sense of empathy, and very bad intuition. These are all stats. They all apply to things. Some of them don't do much yet. A lot of them don't do much yet, but some of them do. For example, being susceptible to disease. You can get diseases in this game. A lot of enemies actually produce diseased clouds that will infect people. So that's a dangerous thing to watch out for. But this is not what I was looking for, as it happens. I think what I wanted was a manager for them? No. What am I looking for here? There was a way to see what skills they have, and I'm not entirely sure what it is, because if we can figure out who Nishtatatis is, we'll be able to figure out why they're not appearing in here. Because we can read our dwarves, and I do not see... Ah, that's interesting. They're in dark now. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Oh, I think that means they're in active military duty, maybe? I'm not sure. I'm not at all sure. Regardless... Oh, that might be the captains now? No, I don't think so. Anyway, I don't understand that. But we see here, we have Lovebat, who is right there, Moskuskagan, who is a beekeeper. I don't know. I'm a little bit confused about this. I'm not sure where that person has gone. I might have to stop for now and see if I can figure out what happened to them, because they should be right here. They should be right here. I don't see anyone else at the beekeeper job, even. Any of our dwarves other beekeepers? No. That's very strange. Apparently... weird. Okay, well, this is apparently them. No health problems, relationships, Brian, acquaintance with Brian. Oh, there we go, custom nickname Lovebat. This is them. Yeah, custom nickname Lovebat. There we go, that was weird. Somehow it just sort of forgot. Now, what? Lovebat to Tatus, Beekeeper. Why is that in there twice? Okay, this is getting a bit weird. Let's customize the nickname. Let's clear the whole nickname out. Don't want that in there at all. No custom nickname. Now we put a new one in as Lovebat. This is how you do it in game, by the way. Now, did that work? I don't know if that worked, but that's okay. Let's come back out there. Lovebat to Tatus. Okay, it seems to have worked. That's good. We can put them into our military now to finish off that final squad in the Courageous Syrups. I don't know why that nickname went away. There we go, Lovebat. And that's not the same last name that they had in the menu earlier, but whatever. We go to their equipment and make sure that Lovebat is knowing that they have to carry a crossbow instead of a individual choice of melee weapon. There we go. Actually, there's one other person in our name list who has that same problem. I took our unit list again, fixed that. Otherwise, I will forget, and it will be much irritating later. There's Dumed Katanan. Hard to pronounce these names. We can view them with V. We change the customize with Y, and oh, it's Toaster. Hit N and save it. There we go. Toaster. There we go. Now we have all of our nicknames back working again. I do not know why that happened. Okay, well, that's that done. Excellent. Now we have wood coming in. We have bolts being produced. We have beds being produced, hopefully. Yes, there they are. We have a variety of different things being produced. We need to put our armor stands and our weapon stands in. I'm going to be stopping soon, but I'd like to kind of finish this early stage. We'll set in some armor stands here. We don't have any yet. We have weapon stands? Nope, wrong thing. Build weapon stand. Where is that in this list? There it is. Weapon rack is R. I don't have any of those either. Excellent. We'll make some beds then. We're going to want to expand this place too, which is going to make things a bit more difficult as well. Ooh, okay, we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. I was incorrect here. Building. No, not building. Designate. I'm messing everything up here. I'm sorry. It's a bit of a mess organizing all this stuff. We're going to dig out our area here a bit deeper, and we're also going to dig off a side path. We're going to dig this one in like so, I believe. Yes, that looks good. We'll make it a bit bigger. We'll make it 5 wide, and we'll make it fairly deep. We'll make it like that. Because what's going to happen here, this is going to be our archery butt, where our archers go to train, and this is our main barracks area. So that should work out okay, I believe. So we'll set that to be dug out, and I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to stop here for now. This has, of course, been Vanguard of Valor, giving you a little bit of insight into the military system of Dwarf Fortress, which is certainly something. Hopefully it gets a little bit more underway next time. If you've enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like the episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.